The morning began with a sterile finality as you watched paramedics load a body bag into an ambulance from your balcony. The deceased was unmistakably your neighbor, Elias, his face slack and gray, confirmed by a mundane police report citing cardiac arrest at 4:15 a.m. You watched until the last cruiser pulled away, locking the fact of his death into your mind. Yet, an hour later, the cognitive dissonance shattered your reality. Elias was standing by his mailbox, flush with life and waving casually. Despite the news blotter confirming a fatality at his address and the chalk outline still etched onto the asphalt, he stood there whistling and watering his hydrangeas. Two contradictory truths occupying the same sidewalk. As the afternoon sun peaked, the blending of these realities intensified, causing the world to fray at the edges of your vision. When viewed directly, Elias's house appeared pristine, but a sidelong glance revealed a boarded-up ruin weathered by years of neglect. The death and living timelines began to vibrate against each other, creating a pressurized, strobing effect in the air. You watched a police officer tip his cap to an empty lawn while his boots left heavy footprints in the grass, exactly where the living Elias stood. The physical laws governing the neighborhood were no longer alternating. They were overlapping in a violent, quantum interference pattern. By dusk, the quantum Zeno effect had inverted, stitching the two timelines into a jagged, inescapable tapestry. When you reached for the boundary fence, your hand passed through rotted spectral wood, only to be stung by a very real splinter a moment later. The reflection in your window showed the ambulance returning to an empty street. But when you turned around, Elias was sitting on his porch, staring directly at you with a look of profound realization. He was no longer just the subject of your fractured observation. He had become the observer himself. As your eyes met, the two worlds collapsed into a singular, terrifying shimmer, ending the experiment forever.